Hello, SM fans. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on your time zone. It's a great moment and exciting one for that matter to welcome you to the month of July. Of course, the second quarter of the year has rolled out, and we are trusting God for a great experience and a great moment. Uh, Bountiful blessings across, of course, every facet of our existence. Today, we are here again to continue the in-depth analysis of events. Keeping it real has been a commitment and, of course, passion. And to this end, we come your way today. As you are joining us, kindly hit the like buttons and share this video. Let it go viral because we are coming with a package of wave, of course, here in core waves to disseminate and to make in-depth analysis and expositions of events as they continue to unfold. For those who care to know, of course, information reaching us is that the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic government in exile have met with the U.S. Congress. You know what that means? Of course, it's a new wave of progress for the Biafran people and, of course, the lovers of the Biafran Republic government in exile. We are to discuss a very important issue today. The former presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, during his chartered visit in UK, said that I condemn all agitators. That was his position. He condemned all agitators, not minding what could have informed, of course, their decision or their quest for agitation. He would not underscore, or perhaps was trying to buy the favor of the British and the neo-colonial masters, and of course, that's of the sympathy of the Nigerian masses towards the presidential election, which unfortunately failed. And now, the same Peter Obi who said, I condemn all agitators, why should he have made such statement if he understood what the rule of law and the rights of the masses or the right to self-determination is? I believe that he is well learned and lettered, should have understood that the right to self-determination, the right to self-defense, is an inalienable right to humans and society and everyone who, of course, believe that the only way to preserve and secure his or her posterity and, of course, ensure the peace and progress of his people is by invoking that principle of self-determination, which is a law across international space that cannot be override by any constitutional or established governments that respect the rule of law and the fundamental rights of the people. Now, unfortunately, so to say, the same Peter B is coming now to say that Nnamdi Kanu should be released because the position of the court has vindicated him, that he never jumped bail. And of course, the rulings, several rulings has been given in his favor. Just coming now to make such public pronouncement. The question is, what would have led to his silence over these months and years, even after the extraordinary rendition of Nnamdi Kanu, which he also should understand that it violates or contravenes, of course, international laws and treaties, an infringement to his fundamental right. But he have remained quiet. He kept mute because possibly he is expecting to become the president of the Nigerian state. But unfortunately, as people do say, Nigeria also happens to him the second time or so. The former time he was vice president, contested as the vice president with Atiku Abubakar, and eventually pulled out from PDP when he understood that his chances are very thin within the PDP platform. Of course, in the nick of time, he have to defer to Labour Party, which, of course, uh, the people, he garnered the support of the people, but that is not all that is needed, of course, to win the election, because uh, what played out is no longer a history, it's before the public domain, that the system, the electoral system or empire, could not be trusted, of course, with the confidence of the people. Reposed on it, but unfortunately fell, betrayed the confidence of the masses, and this is where we are. So, for P2B, making a U-turn presupposes that this is just the same thing with an average Nigerian politicians who could just make statements just for the very reason of uh, deceiving the people or trying to woo the people to his side. But when the matters, of course, uh, shows up, when the issues matters most, you see them not living up to such responsibility. For him to have said, I condemn in totality the agitators, without uh, putting himself in the shoe of these agitators, what are they agitating for? Is it their fundamental right? Is it within the ambit of international laws to agitate and call for, of course, a suppression or independent state of Biafra, just as the Oduduwa also, of course, we are calling, but after the election of uh, 2023, where the Ahmed Bola Tinubu emerged as the president, the agitators of Oduduwa seems to have gone underground. They have been silenced, and unfortunately, is no longer making waves. Possibly, the champions of these agitators may have been given their own portion, or of course, the national cake, and have been asked to pipe low because their intentions or targets has been huge, which is to present, of course, to emerge or to get that presidential ticket or the Oval Office from the southwestern region. But that has not solved the problem of even that of the Yorubas or any other ethnic nationalities. We're still trapped in this quagmire, in this mess. So P2B, who is now coming to say for the first time that Nnamdi Kanu should be released. Well, it doesn't make any sense for me and anyone that cares, because whether he says it or not, the truth remains that Nnamdi Kanu has been vindicated, of course, even within the Nigerian uh, legal jurisprudence. He has not been indicted or, of course, proven otherwise by any competent court of law. No court within the Nigerian system has indicted Nnamdi Kanu of whatever allegations the state may have levied against him for the past 3 years. Of course, he won overwhelmingly within the Nigerian legal space. And of course, the only thing they could do to continue his incarceration or detention is to squash such verdict that was given in his favor by the appeal court, which is one of the appellate courts of law. And furthermore, to buttress this point, he was accused to have jumped bail, and this is the very reason they embarked on his extraordinary rendition. But the same appellate court of law within the Nigerian legal jurisprudence, the Supreme Court, come up to say, no, such judgment was given in error. He never jumped bail. It was a contempt of courts an assault by the Nigerian government and its security operative to have invaded his home with the intention of assassinating him, but he escaped, being fortunate to have survived that. So it is out of place to say he jumped bail. But P2B has been saying this just like other politicians who only is interested in their selfish quests and pursuits, regardless of whatever happens to anyone, even when there is clear injustice, they will not speak out or speak up against such because of their interest or what they think they stands to gain. It is quite unfortunate, just as most of the obedience who claim that they wanted the presidential, of course, seat. They wanted P2B to emerge as the president, and he will probably, of course, fix the Nigerian problem. But this was misunderstood, of course, by people like me. That how can you fix the Nigerian problem when the already system is battered, and will not even give you the opportunity to express such and to even clinch to the seat of power. And the reality, of course, played out, and today we are justified by the former stance and position we took during the election, having understood deeply uh, what Nigeria represents, and the system was not designed, of course, to move the country forward, was not designed to allow a fair play, and of course, for the more diligent and credible candidates to emerge. And this, of course, is the reality today. And we are not discussing about that because it's, of course, is a past event. What is important to us is the interest of today. What and where we are. Of course, we have seen how things have escalated. This has, of course, gotten worse. There is deep moral decadence and, I mean, loss of value within the society today. People are more impoverished than ever before. Of course, the P2Bs couldn't have solved the problem because he will also live in his own fantasy or world, because you can't solve the problem except there is conscious and deliberate attempt to visit the foundation, which is where the problem lies. Now, for P2B to have come to say, to lend his voice, just as Jonathan, the former president of Nigeria, and many prominent, of course, personalities who before now are in between the fence. They don't even know where to stand. But now, most of them are coming out plainly to say, release Nnamdi Kanu, because they have seen boldly the handwriting on the wall. And that informs most of their positions, saying that already they have lost where they are standing. They want to, of course, throw in the towels and pretend as if they are now in support of justice, fairness, and equity, as it's been believed that Nnamdi Kanu is being subjected to torture, mental and emotional torture, which he never deserved, being innocent of whatever allegations that may have been levied against him, which even the prosecutor and the legal counsel to the Nigerian government could not argue their case beyond reasonable doubt. And to this end, such charges was passed. And of most recent, we saw what the judge did. He opted for out of court settlement, and we are yet, of course, to receive information on that regard, whatever may be the developments of such positions have not been made public, but we anticipate that just a matter of days, weeks, or probably months, we will get to know, of course, and review the stance of both parties, whether Nnamdi Kanu accepted the terms and conditions for the out-of-court settlements, which, of course, he has nothing to lose because he is winning the case. He has already won the case both within and international. Of course, verdicts has been given in his favor, which have affirmed, just as United Nations uh, department or group in charge of human rights and violation of fundamental human rights have written to Nigerian government demanding that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu should be released within the space of 160 days or 6 months precisely, which elapsed long ago after his rendition. But that is to say that records have been kept, have been documented for the gross violation of his fundamental rights. It is no longer, of course, uh, hidden before the United Nations. Just as the leader of or the prime minister of the Biafran Republic government in exile, Mazi Simon Ekpa, is making very brilliant and smart consultations and meeting with the US Congress. You see how, of course, the lobbyists he engaged have been making very uh, nice moves to make sure that the US Congress and any concern should be able to make informed decisions with the latest developments. And maybe this could have informed the position of the likes of P2B, who is now turning back. Someone who say he condemned in its totality the activities of the agitators, not considering their own position and their fundamental rights. So it is clearly that this is a clear violation of people's fundamental rights, which I believe should be respected. You would have said, well, whatever might be their reason could have been discussed through dialogue, but not saying that you condemn. Who are you to condemn? Of course, the opinion or position of more than 80 million to 100 million Biafrans who said no. We have seen that our interests, our life cannot be protected within the Nigerian uh, political space or compassion, and you said that you condemn it, which means you are against the democratic process, you're against the rights of the people, you're against the inalienable rights of the Biafrans or the indigenous people of Biafra who have seen and have made up their mind to say we are moving forward, that the system have rejected us and it is not in our own making, of course, to remain subjected and subjugated. We have to cry out through diplomatic engagement and, of course, reaching out to the global society so that they can hear our voice and also our prayers regarding this demand, which is a legitimate one and within the ambit of international recognized laws bordering on such conditions. And of course, today, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, have been vindicated. Even when some could come out to say release him, while behind, they are working to keep him under incarceration. Just as the Ohanese Ndebo, led by Dr. Emmanuel Iwanyanwu, accused the Southeastern governors for frustrating the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Of course, going behind to do one or two things to frustrate him. This is, well, uh, it's not something that is very uh, strange to us because we have had several rumors and confirmations, both through their actions and, of course, indecisiveness uh, after the rendition of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We've seen that such conspiracy of silence, of course, have great consequences and could attest beyond reasonable doubt that these people are not, of course, to protect the interests of the majority of the populations of the eastern region or the front eastern regions. And you've seen it now it is no longer business as usual, that all are sundry are now crying. More voice is being lent to this. People are giving, of course, and expressing themselves that you cannot win this battle, just as the Professor uh, Wole Soyinka made submissions not quite long, of course, re-emphasize that this battle cannot be won with the use of kinetics, that these people should be allowed, of course, to exercise their legitimate right to self-determination, and it's not a crime to call for self-determination. So, and whatever move by the federal government of Nigeria to interrupt or frustrate them might, of course, end up in disappointment. And it's very clear unfolding before us today. So it is no longer denial of the realities. Even those who once opposed the Biafran restoration are now joining the wagon, because it is very clear they could be left and their presence is immaterial. Whether they are there or not, Biafra is here. As people remain resolute and committed to that singular cause of emancipation of the sovereign state of Biafra, which, according to the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic government in exile, Mazi Simon Ekpa, that the deadline, of course, remains sacrosanct. The 2nd of December 2024 is just barely less than 180 days today. Countdown to that great moment, countdown to that great day where the entire people are expecting a new wave of change, where history will be made, of course, across the entire world, where there will, of course, possibly, without mentioning words, a new birth of a nation that could be reckoned with, that could be, of course, celebrated across globe. This will be the last miracle on the surface of the earth, according to the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He said, of course, before his extraordinary rendition, that Biafra will be the last miracle on earth. And no wonder people are expecting and in anticipation, as the Bible rightly said, that the entire Christian is waiting for the manifestation of the sons of God. And who are the sons of God? Is the question, of course, that have not been answered, and which possibly will be answered after the emergence of the Biafran state. He said the whole world, the entire Christian, both animal, both living and inanimate, beings are waiting for the great move of the sons of God in the latter days, in the end of the system of this world. They will express the ingenuity, the talent, and the wisdom that have been embedded, residual within them, that have not been given opportunity to be expressed. And the birth of Biafra will give, of course, the black race the opportunity to experience a new wave of events, of course, to the progress and development of the African states. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has remained a Pan-African leader. He maintains, of course, that Africa must be liberated. Africa must rediscover herself, and the citizens and children's, the sons and daughters of Africa must rise and begin to look back where they come from and see how they could contribute to the progress of African continent. Just as they have contributed enormously in global development and impact across all facets of existence, all fields of endeavors, you will see African children doing exceedingly and amazingly fantastic. Of course, this is very clear. You can attest to that whenever you might be watching us, that most of the inventories, inventions, have been done by the African lords who, unfortunately, their own system could not have given them such opportunity. Of course, to express and discover themselves and develop and becomes resourceful and contribute to the human development and progress. But not until system is created, not until the right condition, of course, tribes, Africa will remain impoverished or described as the most impoverished continent of the earth, which in contrast, they are not, but unfortunately have been forced to accept that where the leaders or political leaders of the African origin will always go, of course, be begging IMF, be begging Western countries for help, for palliative, for assistance. Why the same Western wars got their resources, their wealth from the African soil, exploiting the entire African states. And unfortunately, that wouldn't have been possible without, of course, this conspiracy of the political class who have sold out themselves and their people to remain relevant as much as they think, and that is quite unfortunate. So this is what uh, Peter B also want to throw the same line just to be seen, to be acceptable uh, by the Western powers that Biafra is dead, that Biafra, he condemning Biafra, condemning the expression of his own people, condemning the right of his own people to self-determination cannot earn him any prestige, cannot earn him any respect. Of course, it is an indictment to his person and his exposure as a person. But that notwithstanding, our concern today is the way forward for humanity and, of course, for the entire human race. You cannot stop a people who have made up their minds, who are objects of oppression within the Nigerian state. Look at what is happening in Brunei today. The Nigerian citizens are being blown up on daily basis. They are being blown up. Even people can no longer have any festival or any feast, whether marriage or uh, housewarming or naming ceremony, without being apprehensive of of course, a possible explosion. It's quite unfortunate. Is that how a system or a country should be run? That not even the security operatives are even safe with the developments we are seeing today. You can see the latest bomb blast in Borno State even left scores of casualties, including the military personnel. It's quite regrettable, but then these are the reflections of the reality within the society, and we cannot deny it. You can see already we are in the most precarious times, and with what is going on, it is just the beginning. Coupled with the economic mishaps, of course, people are finding it very extremely difficult to survive, and you know what that means. More persons will be pushed to commit suicide, and they have been radicalized or indoctrinated to believe that the best way they can accept or receive the blessings of the gods is by fighting for the gods, which is a total aberration. It is a misnomer and unacceptable. But when the society have made life miserable to its population, of course, the population will also reflect that particular uh, impact, whether positive or negative. And that is exactly what is happening in Nigeria today. And the president of the Nigerian president, Ahmed Bola Tinubu, has condemned such act. Of course, it doesn't end up condemning. You've been condemning. What impact has condemning that made? Of course, it has not made any impact to address those myriads of problems. Rather, it is getting worse by the day. Getting worse by the day, and nobody is have a sense of safety. Nobody is feeling secure within the Nigerian state. Everybody is apprehensive what could, of course, happen the next minutes or moments. But whatever happens, we can understand that we are in the state almost at the last lap, of course, of events as they continue to unfold. Let me see, of course, what is written here. Uche Okafor said, P2B is the worst enemy of Igbo people. Here says, Chiji says, P2B is another Isaac, okay, of Igbo. Well, okay. And at the end of the day, what really happens is an issue of concern. Okay, let's have with us here now one of us who will, okay, just a matter of time. We have someone to join us. Okay, let me just adjust this. Okay, we have one of the analysts here. Good morning.
Good morning, bros.
Yeah, Peter B. During when he went to the Chartered House, UK, he said that he condemned all agitators, not trying to find out. Of course, he could be living in denial that these people are being suppressed, marginalized. The reason that informed the agitation in the first place. And now he's coming back to make a U-turn, saying that Nnamdi Kanu is innocent of whatever allegation levied against him, that Tinubu government should release him now. Could it be, of course, that the elections are over and the realities are now done on him? Your take.
He has said it all, I must to say. He said whether politics is gone. Thank God you know from the beginning we are playing politics. But as a politician is as well, we won't be joining people that is fighting for freedom. It be discussed about unity or one Nigeria. Only to be the nation's heart. That's politics for us. But in this aspect now, I've always said after the run, you count the minds of running. You have realized he's coming from somewhere. Even him to contest as a presidential candidate, and he knows that as a politician, you are not meant to speak out in anything to bring division in the nation as a politician. But at a point, you realize that you are from somewhere else. And somewhere you're from, you're talking about your own brother, who is the same place with you. So now the politics election has gone, or the political caricature is now over. You have to realize your home, because charity begins at home. And we know that he made a mistake for the first place, but at a point you realize that charity begins at home.
Is it that he's living in that denial, or he intentionally want to sabotage the interests or position of his own people just for whatever he might benefit?
Like he says, he already has Igbo's autonomy. He has the all Igbo support, even during election period. But at a point, as the real Igbo mass is, he has no choice. Because that time we are seeing it as let him unite Nigeria, but finally the unity and the marginalization that marginalizes Igbos had made him to know that it is highly time I speak up for my own brother. The Yorubas did that during their own time, during Sunday Igbo. They all come together. But the politician, no, because he's a politician, he won't be speaking on that because of his own brother. So people will not see it as if he's a something. But now election is over. He has no option, he has no choice than to, let's be realistic. Especially Agodi is my brother. No matter what. Even in his own mind, they have a tension. If I reach there, I'll release him personally. Forget it, no speaker during election time or what's before election. All in the name of to win the other tribes out. Because we know already at home, we're going to give him the votes at home. He knows. He doesn't even need to do campaign. So he will say all those things all to win the other tribes out. Because tribes, there's where you speak, they'll see it as if his brother something. But let's take it a national something. And at a point, you have to realize that now you cannot achieve the national something. Let him go home. Now you have realized home and know where where at least where it's coming from. So for that, you have to speak out his own brother because you have seen it if I talk.
Okay, now he has realized after much damage has been done, millions of hopes were dashed. Immediately he lost out. These are people who would have made decisions and make their positions known very clear than etiga. My people say ewere otu ukwu tiga n'ogwe, o were otu ukwu ọzọ tiga n'olu. It doesn't work like that. If you're coming out, you must come out very plain. Just like Boko Harams, those sponsoring them are coming out very clear, and you understand the ideology is not in tandem with civilizations, and yet they are boldly, of course, to identify themselves as Boko Haram. So why this double standard? Now today he has realized.
Coming to say, and our people says that if you beat a pikin with right hand, you use the left one. I'm closer.
So is it a Pekin in his 60s? Is Peter B a child?
Let me say why. Because when somebody made a mistake and realized the mistake is like beating a child with right hand, very closer with the left hand.
Even we that are tied to Peter B is the one correcting him. We told him that this Nigeria will happen to him and to those who were following, stupidly following him.
I told you before.
The idiot. I don't intend to insult anyone, but that is a reality.
No, I told you before. I'm not a sentimental person, if I must to say. I told you before, as a politician in Nigeria here, you can't be speaking a tribal speech.
Okay, so that you will gain what you are pursuing.
Yes, of course, because you are not in one tribe. So if you are speaking a tribal statement or decision or tribal beneficial, because this person is your person, this person, bear it in mind, the other tribe you see it as somewhere wrong, somehow wrong.
In Lagos State, people were marginalized, suppressed. They were asked not to come out to vote. Is it not tribal? Is it not sentiments taken too far? And yet, they suppress the people and still they rig themselves into the election. So what are you saying?
See, we know every human being can be honest and every human being can be sincere. Likewise, every human being cannot be that mind. I hope I get me. Every human being cannot be that desperate. There's those who think if this one to cause, let it cause. There's those who think, I'm not that a violent somebody. I'm not that a desperate somebody. Let me just give peace chance to reign. Oh, you know it'll be very well now. This is not desperate. And you know who we are talking about is a desperate somebody who can cause anything at all costs to get or achieve whatever he wants. So in that aspect, you can use a bit to compare him. At least you have 80% of fear of God, and somebody who have 0% of fear of God. So how will you compare two of them?
But he should have understood that the game he's coming into is a game of desperation. So if he's not desperate, why deceiving the gullible ones? Why embarking on that program in the first instance?
So we call that game a desperate game. It's not. Because let me tell you, in any competition, you just try your luck. That's why I have luck and always ask God for mercy. And always ask God for his grace. All those, if you gather together, it's just try luck.
Okay, just try luck.
Yes. So
okay.
Let me call it as a trier. It's not a matter of chacha.
You're using the destiny of the
don't
millions of people.
It can't be millions. What will it cost a destiny to lose a life? Is it destiny better or the life you lost? For we have to be that at your cost. That person you're talking about is destiny. Wouldn't be alive to see or be succeeded. You have to take it at your cost. So it's better he let the soul to be than to lose the soul. So
eventually souls were lost. People were butchered. People died in the course of voting for him.
That one could have been, this one that happened is just a cake to compare what could have happened. You have to be that desperate. It could have cost.
Okay, let's just excuse him for just a moment while he does one or two things. Yes, as a fans, you can see the discussion is building up now. Please let's know what, of course, bear your mind via the comment section. Okay, here says, my brother is saying that, okay, he said that these are just a typical politicians who will only try their lucks, and when eventually it is not working, of course, they will make a U-turn eventually. But then, most damage may have been done, and it's quite unfortunate. These are the realities staring at us. You make a U-turn when it is almost late for that to happen. When you know that this battle is the battle of desperation, and you are not guided and well prepared for that, there's no need starting what you can't end up accomplishing. Of course, people felt abandoned halfway, and their hopes and aspirations dashed and destroyed. Of course, most people totally lost confidence in Nigeria after such developments, and maybe perhaps that could have been what they needed to know to understand what is playing out. As my people say, when you start a child, don't approach the burning flame and they think you are doing him a harm. Just allow that child to, of course, put his hand there, and the history or experience will teach him better. But it's quite unfortunate that this has happened. But these are not where our interest lies. Okay, here I say Mr. Peter B know what he's doing. But Tinubu, okay, but Tinubu say Boko caught nothing. Okay, happened. Peter B heard, okay, the name Biafra, and of course Nnamdi Kanu. I may agree with you because to some extent, unless of course proven otherwise, he owes us a duty to make very clear where he stands. You can't be standing in between the fence. Uh, Peter B is someone, yes, that people admire, perhaps based on his personality and antecedents. But that is not to say that on matters of importance, that your opinion is needed, or the clarity of your stance, you'll be found wanting and don't want to, of course, make yourself very clear about this issue. So we have seen one of the another commentators says that Peter B know what he's doing. He hates the name Biafra and of course Nnamdi Kanu. That's why he have not called for his release only uh, just few days ago. Do you agree with him?
Uh, for us to say, hmm, as a Nigerians, there's nothing we do on earth to please human being. Security, even the crowd, put that for the whole world. If people are still disturbing him, blood of the blood, it's just a disturbance. They have already done his part.
Now is Nigeria working at its seats now?
But for Nigeria,
Is Nigeria working for you?
no matter what we do in this country, we must have control. I do not say this is perfect for me.
Okay. Uh, let's go attend to the person. Why we have the next analyst here? He said, Nigeria, you can't please anyone. It's a pleasure having you, comrade. Good morning.
Good morning, bro.
Happy new month and a prosperous one for that matter.
I wish you the same.
Now, Peter B said, I condemn all agitators. You know, the quest for agitation could have been informed by certain developments bordering on injustice, imbalance in the system, and not giving the opportunity to have a sense of belonging. Now, if people decide to leave, which is their right, are protected by international laws, they like to take determination. And he said, I condemn all agitators, even without getting to know their stance or what they represent. Only to come back now and be saying that Tinubu should release Mazin Nnamdi Kanu when the elections are over. And of course, saying that Mazin Nnamdi Kanu is innocent. He should be released as the courts have said so. Your take on that?
Well, I've been saying it. The problem is that in Nigeria, we fail to realize that we have a common enemy. Who are the enemy? Your brother, my brother, your brother in the southeast, my brother in the southwest, and their brother in the north. We have a common enemy. Who are they? The politician. See how he applied diplomacy. See how he's playing joker. I mean, Peter Obi. You see, when you first of all said, he said he condemned all the agitators, right? I don't even hear when he said that one. I think that one will be
At Chatter's house, UK.
when he was doing election, Abi.
Campaign, yes.
Campaign. Now he's now soliciting for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. All what you have to know is that they are dribbler. They know how to dribble. They are Ronaldo. They know how to dribble Nigeria. They know what to say. I know this thing. I've been looking at it. I've been waiting. I said, Peter Obi, what will he say about Nnamdi Kanu? If Obi become president today, what will he do? Will he release Nnamdi Kanu to please his own people and cause another? Because I want to tell you that, see, let me tell you, my belief is that if Nnamdi Kanu release, it's 50-50. It can bring peace to the southeast. It may not. Releasing of Nnamdi Kanu may arouse the agitation. It may increase the quest for agitation when they see Nnamdi Kanu, and it may keep them quiet. Nobody know. So if Obi is the president and he releases Nnamdi Kanu to please his people, and now there is chaos in the southeast, how will he handle it? And I have been say, as I usually say it doesn't matter anybody that is Nigeria president. If you don't know how to control your people, they can create problem for yourself, for you. Like when I said, when Buhari was there, Buhari was the president for Nigeria for 8 years, and Fulani are causing trouble in Nigeria, and he couldn't tame them, and they created problem for him for good 8 years. Why? Because Buhari don't know how to deal with his people.
But he welcomed the problem by opening borders for all the Fulanis across the Sahel to come in.
That's what I'm.
It was intentional.
That's what I'm saying. That when your people are doing something, instead of you to come against them, you try like maybe support them, or you have a hidden agenda. That's where I'm going. Unlike somebody like Obasanjo, I said when Obasanjo was president, he didn't look at everybody's face. He give order of shoot aside to OPC. Anywhere you see them, shoot aside. When their problem was too much, he will not take. You know, because they are my people. They come from aside. Shoot them aside. Are we going to have a president that will do like that? Will behave like that? Somebody like Obi. I've been see President Jonathan. When I started having problem with President Jonathan was when Asari Dokubo gave one statement when we wanted to do 2015 election that if Jonathan failed to secure second term, that Nigeria is going to burn to ashes, and Jonathan refused to answer him. I mean, to caution him that no, that kind of a statement, it can cause problem. That's when I started having. You are the one that they give presidency now. You should caution your people. So that's how. Let's forget. Don't let us forget where we started from Peter Obi. That tell you how Obi will handle the situation if he become president. You cannot say the situation of that I'm from southeast, the same region that are requesting for self ruling, and how will I handle the case of Nnamdi Kanu and Samuel Lepa and all their followers? Sometimes it can create problems. So and I'll tell you that they were all our challenge, our politician, our leader. They like to dribble us, even if they have that intention of if we separate. Let me tell you, if we separate now, people like Peter Obi may not have much to say in the southeast because they will see them as part of the people that even run Nigeria. If we separate now, people like Tinubu, they will not have mouth. People that will be praising is Sunday Igboho, Professor Banji Akintoye, and some other people that you don't know that is not associated with them. Who will want his kingdom to end? Like we say that why some people they don't recite our Father who art in heaven, because when they reach sometime they say that kingdom come. If the kingdom of God come today, the kingdom of men ends. I think you understand what I'm saying. And the people that are ruling this world together with our politicians are the religious leader. So if the kingdom of God come today, their kingdom end. So if separation come today, the kingdom of our politicians that they say we suffer for democracy, their kingdom, their ruling, it will come to end. Their importance will reduce, even if we don't kill them. If we don't, that is if we don't kill them. So that's the point. It will be just being trying to be diplomatic as every other politician in Nigeria will be.
Now, coming to the issue of separation, what is your perspective about the current realities in Nigeria today and the only option of separation?
You see, Nigeria issue is older than me because we had history. We have learned so many history. So, but when I look at this thing down the lane from history, I think it's better if we can resolve it, if Nigeria can go on their separate way. And we look at the way we can do it peacefully. And we look at how we can live separately, interdependently. Or otherwise, if we want to stay as a nation, let's come together and reason in the way that it will not be like somebody is a slave or somebody is above the other, or somebody see Nigeria as their father's land. So far they refuse to do that kind of a thing, then Nigeria is destined to divide. Let me tell you, President of Christ Apostolic Church of Nigeria, in one of his predictions, he said Nigeria is going to divided into three. That is saw three flag. CAC, Christ Apostolic Church leader. He said he saw three flags in Nigeria. That Nigeria will divide into three. But me, as you see me, I don't work according to the prophecy sometimes. Why? Because prophecy is like hypothesis. It can come to pass, it may not. Why? Because it depends on the forces that are working against or the forces that are working in support. Even sometimes God may give promise. The promise may change. Why? Because of what that person is doing. God, so many times God has gave verdict and he reversed it. He said you are going to die, prepare. But that person go and make a request. He query God. God, why do you want to kill me? And God reversed the verdict. So prophecy is 50-50. God may show anybody something, some spiritual forces, they may work against it or work in support of it. But precisely that man saw it that Nigeria is going to divide. And the way I'm seeing it, somebody like President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I will be very grateful to him. Whatever means he can use to divide Nigeria. I think maybe Nigeria want to divide upon his head. And if he do that, he can only achieve only that one. He's my hero. Yes.
If he eventually divides, Nigeria divide under his watch.
Under his watch, yes.
He will be a celebrated hero.
A celebrated hero. Because as the way we are seeing it is getting there gradually. Do you know that they are gathering in the north to unseat Mr. President? And Sehu Sani told them that this thing you are doing, if you want to unseat Tinubu by force, you want to divide Nigeria. Nigeria may split. You know, the man is sit down and he's watching and he's looking at them. He was telling the leader that if you think you can unseat this man by fire by force, you want to divide Nigeria. And people will say it that Nigeria has not been divided because Yoruba has not decided to go. If Yoruba decided to go today, the majority of Yorubas, I'm not talking about the politicians. If we decided to go and our politicians now join us, people like Tinubu join the force of division of Nigeria, I'm telling you, Nigeria cannot stand. That is the problem. Nigeria cannot stand. Nigeria cannot stand. So the way I'm seeing it is the thing is the pendulum is swinging to the left and right. Only God knows where it's going to end.
Only God knows where it's going to end. But do you see any foreseeable future with what is going on? A bag of rice is out of reach. Even you have to save for two months without touching the money if you're earning 60,000 to get a bag of rice. So things are getting difficult. That this drink now, how much is it? That was once sold for 70 naira. But now, how much do you get it? 350. 350. It's even the local brand, not even those exotic one. you call Coca something and whatever.
They call it America Cola. I don't know where they make it. So maybe Nakutonu, I don't know, but they just call it America Cola. Who knows?
It's like
But
it's here
we
in
use this to replace
background.
Pepsi. I use this to replace Pepsi. I usually drink Pepsi before, but I use this one to replace Pepsi. Why? Because don't let me. We are not here to advertise or describe.
Exactly. They have to pay for that.
Sorry,
Pay for that.
sorry.
Now, what can you say about what is going on? Just look at the bomb blast in the Borno states. About multiple of that happenings, even security personnel, soldiers were killed, individuals celebrating were killed. Where is Nigeria heading to?
You see, it has been long. Nigeria, we don't have direction. Nigeria don't have direction. It's like a motor that don't have brake. No direction. It's just going. It's either you go this way, it's either you go that way. So, I don't know where this nation is going to. Even our leader, they don't know. But they can. I don't want to be a prophet of doom. But with the human being, with what I'm seeing, the future hold nothing tangible for us. The way we handle things in Nigeria, simple. The future hold nothing tangible for us. The way we handle things in this country. So I don't see any brighter. I don't see any brighter future because Nigeria has been so divided along the religious bigotry and tribalism. So if another person is there tomorrow, he want first of all sacrifice some people. Look at Tinubu when he went there. Go and check Tinubu administration. People that were commissioner under him, 7 of them, they were still in his cabinet now. So telling you that they were building the way Buhari rule. That's how Tinubu also rule. They were building their political empire, tentacle. So if another person coming, he will also call his. And I don't. If that is how it will continue to be. They will not look for technocrats. They will just look for, oh, I know this one. I can trust this one. I can trust this one. This one is my son. This one is my political whatever. Or if those one cannot come, they are the one that will recommend another one. It's not based on merit. It's based on who know who. So continue like that, and there is no measure to control them. If to say there are strong institutions and strong measure to control them, to put them in the right line, we will have said they will perform better. Let me tell you, if there is a strong constitution, strong institution, strong system on ground, you will require little little knowledge, little integrity. Because if you say you don't have integrity, there are things that will checkmate you. You cannot steal public fund.
Of course.
But in a situation where there is nothing control you, even all the law that exist, they just exist on the paper. Nigeria corruption is bigger than the law. That is the problem. So I don't see that this country hold anything tangible. I don't see anything brighter in the future of Nigeria.
Thank you so much for your wonderful submissions. I do appreciate it. God bless you once again. Of course, you've heard it very clear from my brother from the Southwest. He don't see any tangible progress, of course, in the near future. Which means if he cannot see any tangible progress, of course, it means there is no future in sight. If today is not secured, and it means that the future might not be guaranteed. That is what he's saying. And it's been an interesting moment, honestly, being here with you. You can hear it live and direct from the horse's mouth. And this is very interesting here. And we thank you for watching. For those, he said, talk, stop screening. Okay. Maybe the noise is loud. Let me just adjust a little. Okay, yeah, we are trying to adjust from the noisy environment. I think here is pretty better here. So what he is saying, or his submissions, is that he don't see any future with the current realities, and the system in particular does not foster any better prospects for the teeming populations of the youths within this contention. And what does that mean? Of course, a total blunder. We have And that is quite interesting. When the youths have given up on the Nigerian projects, then Nigeria belongs to who? Is it for those in their late 60s, late 80s, who are still parading themselves within the corridor of power? Those who should be seen as the future or the leader of Nigeria have given up in the system called Nigeria. So what does that mean? Of course, is a total uh, tsunami. When the youths who should be the future of Nigeria have given up on Nigeria today, then what kind of future do you expect?
As in, I don't get the question. Can you recap the question again?
The last speaker said he did not see any prospects in sight, that Nigeria does not hold any future for him. And of course, that reflects the majority opinion of the youths as it stands today.
To be told, Nigeria does not hold, reflect, or Nigerians are not even expecting anything from the government. Like, we've all seen that a government who is supposed to set pace, to be the pace setter, to bring development, to usher in economic prosperity, are the one we've seen that on a daily basis. Nigerians are not even asking much from the government. Nigerians are just asking just basic things, the social amenities, good health center, let there be pipe borne water. At least every Nigerian should be able to feed themselves. That is the least thing a government who is sensible, who is ready to respond to the plight of the people should do. At least that's the least thing. But here in Nigeria, that it is not, we are not even getting that. What at least there are some extent you should always be proud that thank God I am a Nigerian because of this government social welfare policy, because government has done this. But now 100% of Nigerians, entire Nigerians, the low income earners are not happy. They are Nigerians. Rather, the presidency are shopping for a way to purchase a new private jet in the country.
A new private jet where the arrears of civil servants, federal civil servants, to the tune of 230 billion has not been paid. See them stranded, queuing up. Is in the pages of newspaper. And the government of Nigeria is talking about private jets. 21 billion naira for renovation of the vice president's house, and 230 billion of the arrears and gratuities of the senior citizens who have meritoriously served, of course, Nigeria all through their active years.
But notwithstanding, what I want to say is that at this point, the government needs to be sensible and listen to the plight of the people. We cannot continue like this. You saw it. Now, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is trying to go to Kenya to speak to the Kenyan youth who have embarked on the peaceful protest. Now, the Kenyan protesters have told him not to come to their country and then let him stay in Nigeria and fix the issues of Nigeria. A very good response from the Kenyan youth. But we've seen in this country that you see how the youth in Kenya came out and trooped out to vote for their rights. They said it is an era of restoration, a new government. Now it has even ushered Uganda have started to protest. Now the African leaders are coming. They are uniting to hold a very strategic meetings, so it will not escalate to other part of various to other African countries,
especially in Nigeria.
These men are African leaders. They are the oppressors of the African people. A man who has not done the needful, rather than Tinubu and co, should advise him to help our people. Rather, Tinubu is going there. The presidency wants to go to Kenya to meet with people to quench fire. to quench the protest. President Tinubu too should be very careful.
When the fire is burning under his own watch.
He should watch his back, because sooner or later something bigger than SARS is coming. He should be very careful. Something bigger than SARS is actually coming, and then we all know the what implications. If Nigerians takes over this struggle of protest, he knows it. He knows it.
Of course, the military will be deployed to quell the situation.
The military was deployed in Kenya to quell the situation, but how far with it? But how far with it? So one thing I want to say is that
Because the Kenyans are not cowards, those they use live ammunitions, but at the end of the day, they insisted that they owns the country and not individual. The president is just a servant to the people.
that's not what you've said. The country does not belong to anyone. The
But
country-
yeah, it belongs to the politicians, the
country
senators
belongs
who may allow the
country
poor to
belongs
breathe.
to the entire Nigerians. Look at how the country is. No country function this way. Every Nigerian you see on the road are just going. They indirectly they are stranded. They are stranded because nothing is working. Every day, and every Nigerian prays to God to feed him. And when God have given us the natural endowment to feed ourselves, just because we bad leaders we have.
Not that Nigerians are lazy. Now, Peter B said that is the topic of today. That when he went to the Charter's house in UK, in London, he said that I condemn all agitators. That he doesn't support the quest for secession, for self-determination. But he said, of course, the reason that informed the self-determination is because of the failed system and the political leaders, just as him himself. And he now came back to say that Nnamdi Kanu should be released unconditionally because he is not found wanting. He is not guilty of whatever may have been levied against him, ordering or suggesting that Tinubu should release him without any further delay. How can you react to that?
President Tinubu needs to understand that the rule of law should be protected in Nigeria, and the rule of law should be upheld in Nigeria. Uphold, sorry. Now you release Sunday Igboho, who commits the same treason offence. Sunday Igboho came out to declare Oduduwa Republic. He has gone, and now he's free. Badejo, the military leader, is free. Name it. So why is Nnamdi Kanu still in detention? Justice Mr. Nyako, the judge handling Mazi's case, has said Nnamdi Kanu is free. She has released Nnamdi Kanu, but why is the federal government still holding on to Nnamdi Kanu? Just because of political reasons. Just because there are somewhat influential persons in the north. We've seen that Tinubu himself is now buying to pressure. Tinubu is doing that because of his 2027 presidential bid. Because the north have threatened him, release Nnamdi Kanu and lose your seat. That was the video by the Northern Youth Forum. Release Nnamdi Kanu, and then 2027 you will no longer be the president. So let's not understand. Let's not take that away from that. That president, see, politics also is a game of interest. If that is not divisive, the president should allow Nnamdi Kanu off the hook.
So interest can override the place of justice,
In Nigeria,
fairness, and equity.
in Nigeria, there is no interest as always override interest and justice. In Nigeria, where there is no rule of law, whereby politicians can easily go away with whatsoever crime they've committed.
Thank you so much, Mr. David. God bless you for your wonderful submissions. We have, of course, hopefully the last but not the least. Good morning, Mazi. It's a pleasure having you here.
Thank you very much, my brother.
Yes, when uh, during the elections, Peter B went to the Charter's house in London and said that I condemn all agitators, including the Biafran restoration. Now he's turning back to say release Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. He is not guilty of whatever allegations of God levied against him, that he had been detained illegally and for a long period of time now. What can you say about him?
Thank you very much, my brother. I know from the beginning I never support P2B for his own campaign to be a Nigerian savior because Nigerian is a coward. And it's only that man can help Nigeria's best. Obasanjo himself that appointed him is a man that know the truth and know the reason why. But I know support Obasanjo because Obasanjo is a condemnation man, the Obasanjo is a tribalist man. Obasanjo is a man that can never help Nigerians. Obasanjo is a man that have killed Nigeria. So why now P2B to help Nigerians? Is because he's have a foresight. He killed Mazor people in the time of his own regime in Anambra State. So now you come to be a man can be backing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu up because you know that Biafra have gone. So why now? Anyway, I'll look him as a coward. The people that look him as a people can help Nigerians. Now, it can help Nigerians. Yes, Nigeria can be one Nigerian within Yoruba and Hausa. But as long as I see the system going on in the world, and I saw a lot of things that going on, you know, a man I love so much, call Chinya Chebe, he said things fall apart. I love that language. Things fall apart. I love it. Things fall apart. It's a lot of language that people supposed to know. And Ojuku said, how I wish I would live a life to see witness Biafra. And the same man called Peter B and a foolish man, stupid man. You want to unite Nigeria like a. Although I will not blame Jonathan for one or two parts, but I will say something that it may shock the world, it may shock Nigerians, it may shock the same family, it may shock Jonathan. When he see what is going on in Nigeria, he wants to unite Nigerians and he wants a better Nigerians. And the same Northerners forbid it. Now, why they want to bring Aburi? Aburi will never stand. Biafra must go. In the time of Aburi, that even Ojuku called Jonathan for the loving of Nigerians and suffering of Nigerians, that he want a lot of things to work. Unite Nigerians to bring the converb. When you bring converb, some things will be balanced in Nigeria, things will work. They call Jonathan is a useless man. They protest against Jonathan. They carry a protest. Tinubu, the same Tinubu is the power in the same Tinubu that share money. He bring food. They protest against Jonathan. So now they need a new Nigeria. In the same Obasanjo, come for Obi. Come. I know that you can do it. I know that only you can fear the justice and do it. And he told them, let Nigerians should not disobey and come for the same canopy for Labour Party and vote for Labour Party for good and better of Nigerians. The same Yoruba who supported Buhari said Buhari is a Messiah. Now, what is Buhari as a Messiah? I'm advising Obi, Go home, think about your life and your family. Think about Ndi. It's not the same the useless man called a man called chief priest. Chief priests. And the same man called what they called him Obi Kubana. Kubana is the people that share his wealth with the West. Think that he is doing the right thing. Think that even the West that take what he produced, call his own producers, all these things he produced in the different states. Anywhere you go, you know, see Igbo man forget about the nation. The nation is forgotten nation. Imagine when they intervene about the chief priest, Kubana chief priest. Who are you? Now they collected some heavy amount of money can help so many people in your family. Now, as a tax in Nigeria, what happened to Davido on his own wedding? They throw away dollars. They make the wedding. They do a lot of things that nothing happens to the young man after the wedding. He went to a place he belonged. He relaxed. He shared some things. He gives some gifts for the people he want to give the gifts. And you will be a fool. And a foolish man. Excuse me. I'm not a certain man. I am not a certain man. I am telling the young man the fact because I saw the news a few days ago after the wedding of Davido. I saw it very clear. Why chief priest was tackled, collecting 10 million, and what happened to the same Davido?
He was charged 10 million by the court.
Yes. What happened to Davido?
Because of spraying money.
Yes. What happened to the video is what I'm asking.
All animals are not equal.
All animals.
Some are more equal than others.
See, bros, let us
Some
stop.
are Nigerians.
See, listen to me.
Some owns Nigeria.
Listen to me. Igbo man was made in for the law of Nigerians. Tell me what's still keeping Nnamdi Kanu in the same detention from Nigerian
because
government.
he's an Igbo man.
He's an Igbo man. Where chief priest was coming from? Chief priest, where he came from? He's not Igbo man. He's a Yoruba man. Are you kidding me? Now listen to me. We can never be a one Nigeria. We can never be a one Nigeria. A one Nigeria is a garment. White garment. Adeboye, who called himself a pastor, who can never speak the truth, that bring Vice President Muhammad Buhari, that is Oshobanjo. Is he not there when the Christian was killings? In the same hymn that we have a Tinubu wives as a pastor, in the same his own regime, the same man. Why test he was still falling apart in the same Nigeria? Which is comment of the same man called a pastor. A Muslim was referred to Christian as a pastor for the killings of masses of Christians in Nigeria. Call himself a pastor. See, there's no Christian in this country. Let them stop pretending as a Christian in Nigeria. Are you hearing me? So you may hear what I said. Say, listen to me. That man have anything called an oil on his head. The oil he have on his head is oil of a man. Oil of a man, that is all what they call a Muslim. A Muslim that come to this country to clear the whole Christians in this country. It's an imam. Let us stop deceiving himself. Begin to buy horses
put a canopy of a church, logo of a Christian's logo, although I don't know where he go and bring his own logo come. But let him stop deceiving himself.
Thank you so much. As Mazi Simon Ipa visits the US Congress, what are you expecting? Because Ugo Bela Nambabu.
If you see the way I take laugh, I'm happy as Igbo man. Remember, I said before, if my own effort can be the effort of Simon Ekpa and the billions of in dollars, in fact, trillions in dollars shall be developed for the same young man to continue for the activities, I'm 100%, I can do that if I have the money. But what I have, them for Simon Ekpa. Go ahead, continue your activities. I love you so much.
Thank you so much once again.
And thank you very much. I love you.
Yes, thank you once again, SM fans. On this note, we wrap it up. We've seen very clearly the impulse and positions of the people as they express their candidates' opinions regarding what is happening here. Yes, once again, I appreciate everyone who have joined us. Please kindly hit the like buttons. We are just having about 15 likes here. I believe we are far more than this. Please, before you exit this moment, kindly hit the like buttons. It's important so that YouTube can push, YouTube algorithm can push the video to more views or viewers who, of course, will be interested in the development or discussion here once again. And of course, you can as well hit the like buttons, subscribe to this channel, and turn on the notification buttons so that you can get videos once it's been uploaded or whenever we are live. Mayo Samson said, is it Samson? Okay, he said, we Igbos don't love ourselves to begin with. How do you mean that Igbos don't love themselves? If you are a typical Igbo man, you wouldn't have said this. Hello, guys, that is Uku Oje. Igbos are the most people that love themselves. I wouldn't want to dabble into that. There is no other ethnic nationalities that runs entrepreneurship from the cradle, if not the Igbos. When Igbo man or businessman succeeds, he will bring another Igbo from the village to teach him the way to survive, to teach him the way to become men, to become industrious. Igbos are creative in nature, industrious, and ingenious in nature. So you cannot say that. You can't take that away from them. So if you're an Igbo man, you wouldn't be saying that. It's quite unfortunate. Igbos has not fought 1,000 wars, ethnic rivals within themselves. So how do you mean that Igbos are not united? These are deceptive and destructive propaganda sponsored by, of course, cheap personalities for whatever reason, of course, they want to project. My Igbos are industrious. In my communities, they sell community palm fronts or plantation of plants or cocoa or rubber tree, and they use it to train any child that has any child that is brilliant but could not have opportunity of furthering the education. I experienced that. I saw that happening. So what kind of unity are you talking about that they don't love themselves? That is arrant madness coming from whosoever is this. So stop that deception. Okay, Igbos love themselves, not mind that man is talking nonsense. Arrant nonsense. Very stupid one for that matter. You don't come here and make such silly statements. We don't support that. I have seen, I have tested, and the witnesses, evidence abounds here. You see, Igbo man all the way from Kaduna will travel down, teach his own younger children or relatives how to do the same business and succeed in the same business. Which other ethnic nationality does that? for the unity and love the Igbos have within themselves after the wanton destruction of life and properties, where the Igbo people lost over 5 million in the space of 3.5 years. Every building or property standing was destroyed because of the hostility that was extended to 3.5 years. They were able to rebound, of course, because of that love and oneness within themselves. That's why the Igbo usually say this word. Ọnụrụbe nwanne agbala ọsọ. What does that mean? Onye nwanne ya na-ebe ya agbala ọsọ. When your brother is in pain, don't ignore him. Don't abandon him. Because nobody knows tomorrow. These are Igbo sayings. And it's well rooted down to the marrows and the bones being inculcated and passed on to the next generation. So Igbo has maintained that composure wherever they are the world over. You see that unity, coherence among them. Of course, the fact that there could be one or two discrepancies does not suggest that or overrule the fact that Igbos are united, of course, in one common front. They love one another and they are passionate for each other. They don't just love one another, they also love humanity and every other ethnic nationality. That's why they can travel all the way from the east to the far north and develop the region, regardless that they are not parts of those regions. They come to the west, the Lagos state, they contribute over 70 to 80% of the IGP, internally generated revenue, but they are not from there. So they believe they are liberal persons and they believe in coherence, in advancement and progress. And that you can't take that from them. Of course, that have earned them the envy of so many ethnic nationalities and regions. That's why they have been envied. Well, I'm not here to promote tribal sentiments, but we have to set the record clear and you can verify. Among the entire ethnic nationalities, Igbos are the most widely traveled. Even in Nigeria, I'm not talking overseas. In Nigeria here, after the indigenous people of that region or state, Igbos are the next majority within those settlings. So what are you saying? That is nothing but the truth. Even in Lagos, if care is not taken, the number of Igbo in Lagos can outweigh that of the Yorubas. And they are doing exceptionally well, contributing to the progress of each society and region they found themselves, let alone to talk about the Western world, the Asia, the Europe, the America, the Australia, wherever they are. Of course, they show great sense of responsibility and commitment. They love one another. Igbo hụrụ onwe ha n'anya, ọnụrụbe nwanne agbala ọsọ, and they encourage competition, healthy competition. You can grow and develop at your own pace without being envied. Egbe bere ugo bere, and kesi nwanne ya ebela, nke akwala ya ma ya bega no mkpụrụ okwu. You know what that means? They support societal structure and of course encourage one another. That's why they are making waves wherever they find themselves. Igbo nwere ebunwe mfo ajọ gị agbakwa gị ihe chọrọ enye gị, as my people do say. Igbos have the good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful, and of what name it, whatever you have. Okay, and that is nothing but the truth. Igbos are the people that makes their brothers or sisters recover expenses they incurred in the ceremonies by spraying money on them. Just exactly. That is a way, a system of supporting one another in those trial times. These are Igbo cultures. You see, and other people have started learning and borrowing from Igbos. copying from them. Okay, Mustafa said, I am unsubscribing from your channel. You can go ahead and do that as much as I care. But that is the truth. You can't stop me from saying the truth. Unsubscribe. More 1,000 persons will join. These are realities. Even I served with an Hausa man who also acknowledges and envied the ingenuity and the way Igbos encourage themselves. These are realities. So the fact you are subscribing does not change the truth. So that is my position. Ejimu Jobiri, you can go ahead and unsubscribe. In fact, who are you, Sef? Let me block you entirely. Nonsense. Okay, on this note, I wrap it up here. Thank you, Estem fans, for being part of this program today. It's in the, let me bruise up. I'm watching again in I'm not here to joke. We are here to promote the truth and nothing but the truth. So if you are not happy with the truth, you can go and hang yourself as much as you care to do so. Thank you once again, esteemed fans. God bless you and remain blessed. I remain Chigos and the host anchor. Bringing your way unbiased reportage of events, keeping it real has been our commitment and passion. And to this end, we come to the end of this program today. Remain blessed and have a very fruitful week ahead. Bye for now.